Hello everybody. First I actually wanted to skip this in English because we have James Van Praagh, John Holland, so many people talking about the subject that I'm gonna be now describing and going on. And then I realized, you know what, we're all different. Just like we have different fingerprints, different blueprint, different destiny. We also have different experiences. That's why every one of us, each one of us is so important, okay? Don't think, oh, you know what, everything was said already. Everybody's doing it. Do your own thing. And that's why I was actually pushed. I thought I can skip, but I was pushed. No, you gotta say what you need to say, because it's gonna be someone out there who needs to hear your messages, and that's why I'm doing it. Okay, death, dying, what's going on? And here I'm gonna mix my beliefs with based on many other beliefs and testimonies, but also my own experiences, which I think that's the most important part to my video. Okay, let's start from the moment that we decide to come to this life. We are a soul. A pure, beautiful, loving, wonderful energy. We're coming from a very loving place. And either we're coming because we want to, we're ambitious, because on the other side is a hierarchy too. Either we want to elevate ourselves, or we want simply our soul to experience other things, grow, or simply it's karma. Okay, we did something wrong on that side. So as a soul group, we're coming back and we're saying, okay, now it's time to repair the damage, or even more importantly, to see how it feels when something is done to us now. So we did something wrong in a previous life, and now, okay, now we gotta feel the first hand, hey, right up front, the front soldier, how it feels when somebody will do something bad, wrong, horrible to us. If somebody, and I believe deeply in this, if somebody chose a very, very hard life, tough, maybe wheelchair, maybe not getting out of the bed at all, really, really harsh difficulties, crimes, tragedies. It means most likely we are very, very ambitious, those of us who go through it. Very ambitious. The soul is growing big time. And when we go, when we return to the other side, when we return home, now we are really elevated, the hierarchy-wise, you know, our soul grew so much. Again, the first-hand experience, my dear. So, you know, that is something that we cannot avoid. That's what I call one of the true and maybe the only justices in this life on earth here. We were born, and it's already predestined when we're gonna go to the other side. It's the daytime, and I don't care how rich you are, how beautiful you are, how accomplished, how famous, or not. We all gonna die. In my language, we all will go back home. We all will go to the other side, the other dimension. So we decided to come here. We sit down with the elderlies, and it was shown to me how this actually looks like. My dear friend for 30 years, who I was blessed to have discussions on her deathbed, she revealed to me, first of all, I really wanted to let her know that it's very, very hard for anybody to ever come back. So you went to the other side, and some people coming back and they have their experiences. They really love what they seen there. They wanted to stay there actually. So she was so grateful for all that knowledge I gave her, that hope, that emotional support, that she came to me in a vision and she was hugging me. So happy, so grateful. With the messages besides, like the rollers. I actually was one of the videos, my first videos, I was talking about this. When you see the rollers, the hair rollers, that's the video. And what she did after, she showed me what she's doing now, because I was like, why don't you come in a dream to me? Why, after all these years, 30 years of close, really extremely close friendship, why I have nothing now? And she would show me what she's going through. And she was going through the whole process of, after the screening, what you did, good, bad, etc., you sitting with the elderlies, and they ask you, oh, okay, the contract that you have before you come to life, oh, did you do all the things? You know what you think. Well, nobody needs to judge you. You gonna be the best judge that ever is, okay? So it's not like, oh, God sits there on a throne. No, hell, heaven, hell, heaven. I don't think so. You're gonna be very, very accurate. And you're gonna be ecstatic of the good things you've done, and a little sad, didn't work out, because what I didn't understand, it was the ripple effect. So every thought, every word, and every act wasn't only for that one person, but that person got upset, so many other people got affected by it, which we never realize when we're saying something or doing something, right? So everything creates reality. Reality for many, many, many people, many more than we can even understand. Now, the elderlies is like a huge, huge room, I have to say, white, but very comfortable white, not too bright, not too dark, not too yellowish or grayish. A beautiful dimmed, I would say, white, with a very comfortable light, and as we would say in our third dimension, all those elderlies were wearing white clothes, sitting against the wall on a beautiful white chairs. All the furniture, the huge table and the chairs, white and beautifully carved. Yes, on the other side we're also working. I said, what? What kind of heaven is that? What kind of paradise? I have to work again? Isn't it enough that I'm working in a cubicle every day from 9 to 5? No, that's a different kind of work. That's the kind of work that comes from your soul, because you are a soul. That's a pure passion. Either you are a scientist, you're working on something, how to, let's say, not to have a cancer anymore, okay, or a heart attack, or whatever that is, something really smart and ambitious and good, to how to prepare the soul to cross over, how to help with this, how to teach, how to build something, singing, acting, just anything that you can imagine. And you see, we all have that in this life. And if we don't do something with the passion, we're missing the boat. We're really missing big time. Because that's what we're doing on the other side. Before we came here and when we go back. It's just to tap into that knowledge. To know what we destined to do. And here at this moment I have to say, my astrology, numerology, and angel card reading, that one of those products there that I have underneath, when you go to my website, you can actually find out what you're predestined to do. So if you need to know, just purchase a special reading for that, okay? Now, so with those elderly in this beautiful room, and by the way, it was a buffet too, with food. And she said hello to me nicely, and then she goes back and she sits there with those elderlies. And one of them I've seen very clearly. And I say, and you're not gonna even invite me to have some meat, because it was meat there? And you see, that was what I had no idea. It was a sign for me. Because when I said those words, this main person character, because he looked like a man, because that's all in 3D we can understand, he looked at me with those very understanding, deep eyes. I didn't take this as a prepare, I didn't take as anything, but was very face to face. He was sitting far away from me, but I kind of saw him very, very, I could actually draw the picture. And what happened later, you see, white, everything white, of course it's a paradise, but also white stands for purification and transformation, and that's exactly what happened to me. Shortly after I got sick, I stopped after that. I went through, in 3 weeks, through total cleansing. I stopped eating meat, I stopped drinking any alcohol, everything ended. So my body went through a purification. Because then you ascend, then you transform. Your body is lighter, okay? Now you resonate with different things. It's a different vibration. And that's what they let me know. And she gave me this as a gift after everything that I've done for her, which was really beautiful. Also on the deathbed, she turned to me and she said, you have a halo. And halo is a different kind of concept of energy, because we all have aura. But halo is kind of a little more awareness, that the psychic ability, the connection to the divine. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you look like a saint. And she is looking, I would say this much, under, above my head. And she's looking. Yeah, you look like a saint. So, it's interesting, I love to talk to people. just before they cross over, because they acting totally different. They already see the other side. They talk to the other side, as my friend did too. So we sitting with these elderlies before we're born, and they telling us, okay, so what you gonna accomplish this time? And you saying, okay, I want 3 marriages, 5, 7 kids. I want to go through all these tragedies and dramas, and they tell you, you're taking too much on you. You're right now so happy, loving. There's no such a thing as a time. Time going on, and he's going forever, whatever. It's always, you're always happy, always loving. It's all really peachy there. So you really want to take so much, and they warn you, and they warn you. And then you have exit points. At some point somebody was young and left because he chose too hard life. So you have those exit points as well. But what I don't want to talk about that too much. That's a story by itself. So now you're born, and you still have exit point when you are in a mother's womb. That's why a woman has miscarriages. And when the baby is already born, and still up to 1 year, many babies are living, suddenly get sick, and they're gone. Why? Because they realize they have still that first exit, that they took too much upon themselves, or they hear something that, you know what, I'm gonna change my mind, and I still go back. So don't feel that bad. And for the woman who is left, or for the family, sometimes this is a horrible, horrible tragedy, because they were waiting for this baby so much, and now, that was in your contract. You're supposed to experience this, so you understand the process better, okay, and how it feels to go through. Maybe in a previous life, that's what the role was, the opposite. You were the daughter, somebody else was a mother, now you are a mother, somebody else is a daughter. Or I was a father in a previous life, and now I'm the daughter or niece, etc. So the soul groups. Now let's say we're already living. We're living this planet, in this life. Please don't look too much in a coffin, thinking that your dear ones is there. Yeah, the body that chose for this life, and we're choosing. We're going to be blinds, that too, blondes, brunettes, redheads. We're going to be tall, we're going to be small, we're going to have a weight problem, we're going to have tattoos. That's all predestined, okay? When we're looking at the coffin, I understand that we don't like what the funeral home, let's say, did, or the shoes maybe should be a little closer together, or this or that. I've done it myself, or too much makeup. But this is the vehicle that we chose for this life, and when we leave, doesn't matter if we burn the body, if we put to the grave. Basically is basically we are more cultural. So whatever our religion, for example, is telling us to do, put the grave, we put the grave. Burn, we're burning, okay? And spreading the ashes in some beautiful place. Everybody is kind of different, and that's okay, it doesn't matter. Because the soul now is standing next to us. And I heard that they all like to attend the funeral. So this soul is around us, is hearing what we're saying, is hearing what we're doing, and then they're going to see the elderlies again, and what we accomplished, what we did. So I would say never talk, and Anissa saying, never talk badly about the dead ones. And some people like, oh, what's the big deal? Or if you talk in a good way, because they, to me, they simply cannot say anything back to you. and defend themselves, and it's just not fair. Okay, so now as a soul, somebody goes back, and now that's the elderly room that I was shown. You're sitting there with them, and you're discussing what happened, and you sharing the information, what you learned, what your experience was. This is not to criticize or to judge or to what? You did that? I cannot believe you would do it. Nobody but you yourself will judge your actions in yourself, because you're gonna be able to be totally neutral and just. That's a different perception. It's a different dimension. Okay? Now, how this, you would say, wait a minute, different dimension. And by the way, it's many dimensions, not just one. You know, where is the other dimension? And you look at the heaven like, wow, is this like 30,000, 300,000 miles away? Where is this heaven? This heaven is right here. We live all together. So what? How many people like you can be in this room where you are right now? Well, I have to tell you, it's a totally different dimension. It's all energy. And energy doesn't have the body like we think it has, right? In a ghost, you see, he's going through the walls and doors, because that's only energy. This I actually had the privilege to see how it looks like. I've seen so many in a dark room when I woke up one night, so many people, so many eras, so it was 18th century and who knows what century. It was unbelievable, and everybody minding their own business. It's not like anybody bothers anybody and looking what the other person is doing. It's so unbelievable how many dimensions, how this works, how everything works at the same time. So how to show you, because I know you would like to have a little example, a little presentation, and it's how to understand easy how this works. This is a regular fan. Okay? Look what happens. You see the blades of the fan, right? It's 3 of them. And that's the third dimension. 3 blades. How appropriate. That's the only fan I have, but it's perfect. So this is the third dimension, right? Well, now let's see what happens when we go to the different dimension. You don't see these 3 blades anymore, do you? But you kind of still see something. Let's go to a different, even higher dimension, higher frequency. You see what happens? And that's the highest. We actually don't even see the blades at all. The reason this cage is around these blades is so high that we don't see the blades, we're not going to hurt ourselves. Because if I put my hand right through it, I would get hit big time, right? Or my face. So that's, I think, and now, again, we're going back to the third dimension. You see? Totally different story. I think that's the best explanation why we don't see, why we cannot see each other. But the veil between us is getting thinner because we are going through the 4th to the 5th dimension. So that's what's going to happen. We're actually going to be able at some point to talk to them, and not chit-chat like I'm doing right now, telepathically, just looking, and as energy and energy can be. When they are in a grave, like I said, it doesn't matter. That's cultural. You put them in a grave. In Poland, in the countries where, and it's not just Poland, in Poland they have beautiful graves, and November 1st, everybody coming from everywhere. Once I even flew from Hawaii to Poland. It's a big, big, wonderful tradition. And the souls are there. You don't see them, you don't hear them, but they are there, and they're happy to see everybody coming. And it's a wonderful thing for people alive, just like the weddings, funerals, and November 1st, All Saints' Day, is when people who are close to each other, who came as soul groups, they actually coming together. Okay, so you can see what come to my mind right now, what came is my cat. When my father passed on, actually saw him. The cats are very good. If you look at them, they will see your angels, they will see the other side, they will see different dimensions. And he got spooked because he didn't expect, he didn't, my father. He knew my father actually, but the way he showed up, he probably didn't expect that way, and he got spooked and was running. So I think that is it. I have little notes, but it's nothing to be afraid. It's a normal process, and that's why I did this video. We're coming from the other side, we're leaving the vehicle behind our body, and we're going to the other side, being smarter, wiser, more experienced, where our soul grows. So wherever we go in this life through, all these experiences, all this pain, all these aches, all these illnesses, we already put in our contract. And we're going through it. And the more we're going through it, the more ambitious souls we are. Love you all. Send you kisses, hugs. Talk to you next time.